largely on participation at all levels. We engage the investors, the locals, and even this, the smallest community around Kilifi, on how they can be able to, in one way or another, contribute positively towards uplifting the economic status of the county. Now, what this tells me is that it can begin somewhere. Or for this instance, it has begun here in Kilifi. The conversation can only be scaled up going forward. And I'm happy because of two reasons. One, in our EEZ, Kilifi hosts quite a big chunk of the opportunity. You know, Kenya has the potential of about 300 billion shillings worth of marine catch, if I may so put it, that we haven't tapped in a long time. And we feel if counties come forward to participate in securing investments, it may be a game changer for the entire country and all of us. If that amount can be injected into our GDP, it really will be progress. And also in the areas of minerals, Kilifi is endowed with lots of blessings. Here we have huge deposits. We believe to be holding huge deposits of minerals such as titanium, manganese, and just others. You know, limestone, coral, building blocks, and in fact, in the coastal region entirely, a big percentage of construction, the source of stones, coral stones, it has been Kilifi for a long time. The consumption, for example, of the salt that is produced here feeds almost 40% of the entire country, if not more. And we have now a specific focus on ensuring that we do exploration, or we do what we call assessment of viability for minerals to be extracted. And once that is done, then the next thing is that we now have a deliberate plan on ensuring we create value addition. So I know there's copper in Kilifi. We're yet to evaluate whether it will be viable for extraction, and if it does, I believe it should not be exported as ore. There should be some value addition, at least to copper concentrate. If we were to tabulate that, you're looking at tens of thousands of employment opportunities for the people and wealth creation. Because you know now we are focusing on disbursement and distribution, timely disbursement and distribution of resources that are raised from natural resources. So Kilifi here has enormous potential, and I believe it will be the next frontier in our economic conversation in this country.
This growing concern among the young people in this country on the issue of unemployment. Do you think it's high time county governments started initiatives like what the county government of Kilifi is doing to create employment opportunities to these young people, young graduates who are just graduated from school and they don't have employment opportunities?
I believe so, yes, because the wisdom of the drafters of our constitution has clearly elaborated on some specific functions, both at national government level and county government level. And the articles of the constitutions, if you read them even collectively, you'll see that there's a need for these two levels of governments to support one another, to work together. They are interdependent, and therefore it is critical that the county plays the role of getting investors to come and you know, create systems, seamless systems, for example licensing and other incentives. But most importantly, also the national government is supposed to be able to provide support infrastructure, so that there are things that county can do and those that they cannot do. But the point that I'm trying to put across is that every Kenyan, let alone those that are in government, be it county or national government, have a responsibility to, in one way or another, contribute in creating an enabling environment for investment, and more particularly private equity investment, so that we can continue to constantly create opportunities. I believe the county is doing the right thing. I think we need to continue to engage. And also, I think all of us have a responsibility in our different ways. So we support programs, for example, that will enhance job creation. Because lack of opportunity is a reality. If you see the number of, for example, in our interactions, in different ways of interactions, a lot of young people are looking for job opportunities. So government has a responsibility to create an enabling environment, and that we have to do it collectively. Now, for a country to do well, sometimes you need to have a specific focus on FDI. And FDI means there has to be some level of confidence towards the country. And it can be at both levels. Sometimes people ask on what government is doing or government can do. But even the larger population have a responsibility. And that's why sometimes I urge people, let's just be careful. There are some things you do or you say that can be so costly. And you may not feel it. You can be in your comfort zone. But there are people sitting somewhere who have no hope, can't find an opportunity. And we ought to put our efforts together to be able to change that. And things like this, these conversations here, and I'm glad that every cadre of leader was here today. And everybody spoke on how Kilifi is ready and ripe for investment. And this is the kind of conversations we must have. I am sure your followers on Azimio TV that are watching from all over the world and within Kenya are now aware that Kilifi is safe for investment. And the leadership is in support of investment. And for me, I think there has to be specific action plan for us to continue to pick on the conversation on what can create more opportunities for the young people to be able, number one, to create wealth and earn decent livelihood and live better lives and have some money in their pockets. Yes.
Back to the government. I think the day has ended well, and as it was ending, there was some good news that was splashed about the county being recognized as the best performing in terms of expenditure of allocation of funds from government. What is your take on this? Because you haven't spoken about this, and take this opportunity to talk about this and have the bragging rights on this show now.
You see, as governor, I always work. I know many people like Mutandao and putting everything in social media. But me, I think what I feel nice is that, yes, the results are good and we'll work even harder. I can tell you this is a report of between beginning of the year, now July, the biggest bulk of development I'm paying now. So if you want to check how Kilifi is doing, check in January, because we have targeted to really pay development and make sure we pay very less of recurrent. And that's why today we became number one, not only in cost in Kenya, followed by Siaya.
Governor hasn't told you here, there's a young man here who has been signed with some team.
In Manchester. From here. Yes, this is what you see here. The boy is coming from that village. He's been signed in by Manchester United. Zero. No, the main team. It's called Zero. It's from here.
But I support the young man to perform.
So
yes.
we as you see, we have come out 57.
Yeah.
I'm not yet there. I want to be at 98 on if I can. I know because we need also to pay salaries, and there are some recurrents which are unavoidable. But I want at least to move the county to 70-30, if possible, in the near future. And that's what I've been pushing the last 2 years. That we go to 70 development, 30 other expenses.
Now, quickly about the delay in the disbursement of monies meant for county governments. Does it hamper your efforts to ensure that service is delivered to the people?
it has improved now. The Treasury have given us 2 months. They are saying they will even continue improving. You need to think sometimes not outside the box, just throw the box away. You need to find means to make sure you run, because the challenges are both at national and county. So because they have to collect the money, then they transfer. But I think like when it comes to current, especially workers, we have a program, we do Fuliza with the KCB Bank, pay salaries. When the money comes, we reimburse. That's how we have been keeping also our staff afloat. Yeah.
Finally, to you, before I go to the CS for his final remark, where do you see Kilifi County in the next 20 years?
If we count in the next 20 years, it will not be the sky, because we want to be no sky at all. So I will not say sky, the sky is the limit, it's beyond the skies. So that's why I want to see Kilifi. And God willing, if I'm healthy and I run this county in the next 8 years, definitely Kilifi will be on another level.
Are you working closely with other elected leaders in the region?
You have seen, and I want to thank all the elected leaders. All our elected leaders were there, both from National Assembly, Senate, County Assembly. We have joined hands. You have seen they have been here throughout this conference. None of the members of parliament was away. Everybody has been in attendance throughout.
Yes. From where you sit, where do you see Kilifi County in the next 20 years?
They've had this meaningful engagement, and I like the fact that leaders are working together at all levels for the betterment of Kilifi. And really this should be a conversation of national interest. Everyone in the political class should be able to find it that it is necessary sometimes to be able to come together for the betterment of the Kenyan people across. And therefore I believe that they are on the right trajectory. I urge them to remain focused so that whatever ideas they've shared during the conference can be put to action, so that the next one we attend, we see some concrete results, which I believe we shall be able to do that. I'm excited about the special economic zone. Number one, because it's community driven. I mean, let me say, it's not always that you see community that has sat somewhere and decided, you know, this land of ours, instead of us trying to adjudicate some small parcels for our use, let us commercialize it. It is very rare. And I think it is the first of its kind. And therefore I feel encouraged that the community now is coming along. And when that ACZ is set up properly, industries are mobilized, we will see a surge in different areas that will directly, you know, have an effect on the people. So I am going to support Kilifi as much as I can from the ministry level in providing support in areas of blue economy. For example, me and the governor have agreed soon we will be breaking ground for a port, a fishing port around Kilifi here, where the old bridge used to be. We're engaging with some private investors on building another port, and this one probably a commercial port in the blue economy area, somewhere in Takaungu here. The national government, through the ministry, we are building some market in Malindi there, and more other projects that we want to continue to be able to do. Most importantly is that the people must see change, you know, and just for the better. I think the whole conversation is around how do we better the lives of the people, and that's the focus for me.
What word would you tell other governments within the region in relation to what has happened in Kilifi?
I was telling the governor here that as much as this conference is in Kilifi, I think the entire coastal region has benefited in one way or another, because they are interdependent. And once governor showcases, for example, in the areas of blue economy, there's a lot of commonalities between Tana River, Lamu, Mombasa, and Kilifi, and even Kwale. So there's a common ground where they can be able to meet. I've urged that in the future they consolidate to have a Jumuiya investment conference one. And I'm glad that Governor here has shown us the way. I'm hoping the rest will join in. But I think this is the kind of conversation the country needs. The country needs this kind of conversation, that Kenya is ripe for investment. You know, bickering all the time, squabbling all the time, the back and forth we see all the time is not helpful. You know, the area let me say, the competition globally has become so tight in that we have to get our act right. If we don't do it, other countries are waiting. So for me, I think it is on the right path. We ought to continue to work together and ensuring we have a positive feedback going forward.
Well, it's been very interesting 3 days here in Kilifi, where investors have participated in this conference. They have shared ideas with the leadership of this county, as well as how they can engage with the county government of Kilifi to ensure that they invest here and also ensure the county grows to greater heights of development. And as well, also about the leadership of the county. You know, the governor says he is working closely with the leadership, fellow elected leaders, to ensure that the county grows. Now, for lovers of football, fans of Manchester United, as CS Joho has said, there is a young man who has been signed here by Manchester United. Yeah, very soon you'll be watching him, and we'll be waiting as Arsenal fans to beat you like we've always done. Amaje bwana CS.
You know, I'm waiting to see. I've also been informed of the signing of this young Kenyan who lives just on the other side. Over there, you see those hills over there? That's where he comes from. His name is called Zero. I haven't seen him waiting. The news was just broken to us. But Zero ni kijana wetu. We love him. I'm sure when he goes there, he'll make us proud. Lakini bado tutapita nao tu. Tutapita nao.
Sina timu yote, lakini nitachukua hiyo Manchester ya Zero.
Kapoteza ndugu yangu. Wenda wapi? Asante sana.
Engaging the governor of Kilifi County, the Honorable Gideon Mungaro, and the CS, the Honorable Joho. Thank you very much. It's been good. Asante sana. Thank you. Thank you very much. Asante sana.